Hey guys, welcome everybody to day 33 of the trading marathon here on this channel. My name is Daniel, and in today's video we are getting in some practice exercise for the triangle pattern, for the Elliott wave triangle pattern. And as always, before we go straight into the charts, I wanna refresh the knowledge we already gained in the previous videos about the triangle, which we are labeling as ABCDE on the chart when we see it. There is obviously a bullish and a bearish version, but you also have two different types of triangles. You have the contracting and the expanding triangles, which basically, look at the graph that I've prepared for you. The contracting is the most common one, and it really looks like a triangle which is getting smaller and smaller, where the waves inside the triangle are getting smaller. But also the complete opposite is possible, where the waves are getting larger by themselves, like each wave is larger than the previous one. So it just looks like a triangle in the other direction, but that is more unlikely to happen, okay? And way more rare to happen on the chart. There is even a very rare one. There is even one that's happening very seldom. And it's the skewed triangle, which is basically imitating the shape of a leading or ending diagonal, but it breaks out in the opposite direction, but it's very rare. So that's why it's not even displayed here on the chart. It's called a skewed triangle, but honestly, never speculate on a skewed triangle to happen, because it will be way more likely to be an ending or leading diagonal, So don't necessarily ever, base your analysis on a skewed triangle happening. But today we want to focus on the two most common ones to happen, which is the contracting and the expanding one. We're labeling them ABCDE, and all waves are corrections inside the triangle. So you must understand that you don't expect, or you don't see a triangle to happen immediately. You will see an ABC or a flat, like a WXY, and you will believe it's over. But then instead of the impulse, which you expect to happen afterwards, there comes another ABC, which is a bit smaller. And you think, oh no. And then comes another ABC or a WXY, and you already know, oh no, this is gonna take some time. Then comes another ABC and another ABC, which completes the triangle, and then it gets the breakout or breakdown, So the triangle is really the most annoying one, the most time-consuming one. On the same level with the WXY set, but the triangle is even more choppy. It's straight away only going sideways, so you really can only get stopped if you trade within a triangle, if we are, talking serious here. So with that being said, we are going on the chart to search for a triangle, and I can already point out a pretty perfect example. Well, first of all, I wanna acknowledge the fact that this ABC is playing out pretty strongly. So we are really following the overall expectation that we are forming a WXY in this larger pattern, which consists out of three wave moves, here in ABC, here WXY, and most probably here in WXY as well, which already has, in my opinion, completed the wave W. So now an X and a Y is missing to finish this overall WXY in the wave 4 and give us the last crash towards the downside, where we can actually form a bottom, okay? So there has been the analysis all of the time for all of the, last weeks. I've been tracking that on the chart, and well, since today is the video about the triangle, I want to point out the one which is straight away within the bigger WXY pattern that I'm tracking. It happened here in our first ABC, and there is a very important thing that I have to tell you. A triangle, you must know, can never happen in a wave 2. That is very important information for you. It can only happen in a wave 4 or a B wave. Why is this important, you may ask yourself? Because once you see this impulse, you cannot know if it's an A wave or a wave 2, right? And then once you get this 3-wave move down, you don't know if this is an AB or a 1-2. You simply don't know it. But once you see B, C, D, E, okay, it can only be an ABC. Also WXY, so if that's the X wave, it's possible, but most likely it's an ABC. And in both scenarios, it will give you only this possible target region here. So let's assume this would have been a 1-2 already here. Then the 3 would have shot way over the target region, and the 4 and the 5. So based on only a 5-wave move and a 3-wave move, you cannot say if it's gonna be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or an ABC. But once you get an impulse and a triangle, you already know, okay, it's gonna be an ABC. no doubt on that. So close your trade there and bet on the other direction. So it's kind of like a nice pattern to have a follow-up with. The tricky thing on a triangle is, if we, for example, are in a downtrend, let's say this was 1, 2, 3, then first of all, it can trick you into believing that this is the ABCDE triangle in wave 4 and it will break down in wave 5. But if you look at the smaller waves, only then you identify, aha, this has been a 5-wave move, so this must have been an A wave, and then was the triangle, so the C is playing out to the upside, so then you only notice, you know. Yeah, well, I think, and you also can see, I mean, if we take a close look at the waves within the triangle, this has been a 3-wave. I mean, I point them out for you. Let me do it. Wait, ABC, ABC, ABC. I mean, this was an ugly one, but still no 5-wave move. Another ABC here in the C wave, another ABC in the D wave, another ABC in the E wave, and that's how you get your triangle. And then once the E wave is complete, we get the breakout to the upside, and I show you how to measure the target. For the C wave, you take the trend-based Fib extension, you start on the beginning of the A wave to the end of the A wave to the end of the triangle, and then, well, this target region is not even pretty. The usual target region would actually have been here. So the only way that I knew that this was a top was that I knew this is gonna be a 5-wave move, and I saw, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once this is done, you can assume that the C wave is complete, and actually the target is between the 100% and the 1.618 extension. But once you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and you are very close to the 100% extension, you just close the trade. Yeah, that's why I closed my long pretty nicely here. And also, since we have liquidity there, but we will get into the smart money concepts in the upcoming days. Yeah, so technically that was your long entry, and here in this box would have been your expected turnaround. It didn't reach the box properly, but since we knew it has to be a 5-wave move, I mean, when we were that close to the box and we see a 5-wave move, it's a safe call to just close your longs, and you know, I also shorted this down, I think, but I already expected this to be a larger WXY, so I felt pretty safely here. I mean, you will also come to the point where you just, you know, reach a kind of flow state where you are tracking the right wave count, so you literally know every single wave that's gonna happen. So once you see there are 5 waves complete in the move that you expect to be a 5-wave move, you just close and trade in the other direction, you know. But yeah, I think that's the general information about the triangle. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I will answer to them. And I wish you a wonderful day and stay strong. Here is the 32nd half marathon of the 42. So there are 10 more half marathons for me to run in the next 10 days. I mean, in the next 9 days. One of them is today. And yeah, guys, I hope we see each other in the next video tomorrow. Until then, stay hard. Ciao, ciao.